bride, are we ready? Quiet on the set, please. Sound. Camera roll.
Rolling.
Celebration of the life of John Pinder. This is the martini. Action.
Hi.
Hi, Shelly.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I can't see any of you, so I can't say your names back, sorry. I'll say it later. Hi, everybody. Well, as most of you already know, I'm Shelly, and I am John's ex-wife. And the fact that I'm standing here today might seem weird to people who didn't know John, but if you did know him, you knew that he was the kind of guy that even an ex-wife could love. We shared many, many years together as partners, and we continued our friendship even after our marriage ended. He was an easy man to befriend, and seeing all of you here today just confirms that. I hope that he knew just what an impact he had on so many lives. Whew, I didn't make it very far. When John got sick, he asked me if I would take care of things for him when he was gone. And one of those things included this service. Excuse me, let me grab from my pile. Of course, I agreed to do it, obviously, and we discussed his wishes. And he understood that people would cry, people are going to be sad, that's understood. But he really wanted it to be a celebration. So today, we celebrate the man that John was. We celebrate the way he made us feel just by being near him. We celebrate the stories he left us. We celebrate his warmth and his compassion and his charm. But mostly, we celebrate his life. Complete with a few attempts at humor thrown in that I think he would have appreciated. So the first portion of our program is going to focus on John's friends and family. Although, if John considered you a friend, then you automatically were family. Between his parents, his brothers, his children, and everyone in his immediate and extended family, he was in no short supply of relatives. And today we're going to get to hear what it was like to have John as a brother, a father, a cousin, and later as a son. So I thank you all for being here today. And for those who are watching this as a recording, your presence is equally appreciated. I welcome you all to sit back and listen as you get to know John a little bit better than you knew him when you walked through those doors today. I hope that today, and any day that you think of John, you're able to find some joy amongst the sadness and remember him with a smile. I know that's how he would have wanted it.
Everybody, if you would bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, we come today to celebrate and mourn the life of my brother John. He was a brother, a son, a father. He's a good man. And we ask, Heavenly Father, that you help us honor him in what we're doing here, that he knows how he was remembered. And we ask that in Jesus' name, amen. Now, my relationship with my brother John was probably unlike anybody else's that you could ever imagine. All it was laughter for the last 20 years. That's all we did, was try to make each other laugh every time we hung out, which was every week. But like anything else, we were brothers. He was the first person I ever punched in the mouth. He was the first person I ever kicked. And we laughed about it. Just months ago, we were laughing about it. I can tell you a story that my cousin might even remember. We were in Florida. I was about 15 maybe. We were in the water, and a jellyfish decided to make a friend with me. And I started yelling because I didn't know what it was, but it hurt. And my brother John comes running over to me, "What happened?" And I said, "I felt a shock." Now, to most people, that may not seem like a big deal, but you have to understand we're from New England. We don't use ours. So the word shock and shark are exactly the same. And he ran and left me. He figured I was done. He wasn't going to go down with that boat. So we laughed about that later on. We laughed about everything. We found humor in everything. And that turned into a radio show. It turned into 2 different podcasts. It became successful. But week after week, all I would do was try to make him laugh, because that's all we did. We didn't have time to be angry at each other, although we were, but it never lasted. He was a brother like no one else. And he was my best friend. I couldn't have asked for a better brother. As angry as I was at him at times, and angry as he was at me, we still managed to laugh about everything. And you'll see that. And we we did shows together on YouTube, we did radio, and I have some clips for you that you'll be able to listen to. And I hope you enjoy them, because I have thousands of hours for the rest of my life that I can go through and watch and listen to us just having fun. Thank you.
Hey folks, I'm John.
I'm Steve.
We're 40 plus and we're here to do another K-pop video reaction for you plus ones.
John,
And
what
for
kind
everybody.
of reaction video are we doing today?
Okay, we'll do that again.
It's been a while.
Hey plus ones, I'm John.
And I'm Steve.
And we're 40 plus and we're here to do another video reaction, K-pop style. And today we're going to do NTC.
That's all, folks.
And Dirty Bird and Dirty Bird and fuck me.
Let's do that again.
Yes, let's do that one more time. Icon.
And he did it again. But
I
first-
can say the name of the thing we're going to do before I go, but first.
Okay.
That's the way we do it.
You can say today we're going to do a reaction, but first, this is our Twitter right here.
No.
I'm just going to go with it. Just go with it. I'm going.
No, we're gonna do,
I'm going.
Today we're going to do Icon.
We're going to do Icon. And then this is our Twitter.
And then we're going to do our Twitter. That's how we're going to do it.
Are you sure?
Every time.
Do it.
Every damn time. Okay, folks, I'm John.
I'm Steve.
We're 40 plus, and we got another K-pop reaction video for you. Today we have Icon. What is it called? Dive?
Yeah.
Yes, it's
This
called
is what
Dive.
our ratings are
But
doing right now.
first, ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm ready. Oh my God. My Nutrigenics just kicked in. Holy shit.
I just took it too. Nutrigenics, little fish oil, little hydroxycut. Boom.
I'm ready to go. Okay.
복잡한 세상에 찌그러져리 내 정말 낳고 사진 좀 확확 내 지도 좀 따자
Oh, we're going to do a reaction to another K-pop video. But first,
Hey, Johnny, you know what time it is?
Oh, what time is it, Stevie?
It's a pasta
Let
time.
me get my fork.
Ready? A one, a two.
Rigatoni, manicotti, tortellini, and linguine, meat lasagna, pasta fazool.
Oh, you guys talking about food again?
Yo, Nikki, shut up.
Would you like some meatballs with your ziti?
Why, yes, thank you.
Not like he needs any more.
Why, I don't know, spaghetti? Hey, bafangu.
Hey, Johnny, why did we say bafangu?
Yeah, they had no spaghetti.
No spaghetti, okay.
Yeah, give me the Parmesan.
Pasta Chianti.
Hey, just give me the heart attack now and save me the time.
Hi, I'm radio announcer guy. Welcome to the Macaccio Brothers Show. Now here are your hosts, originating from the great Northeast, now sweating their Stugats off in the desert we know and love as Dallas, Texas. Those three giddy brothers, Johnny, Stevie, and Nicky Marcaccio.
That has been my joyous last 2 weeks. I just can't tell you how thrilled I am.
And this episode is brought to you by Blood and Honey, made by Revolver Beer.
He's using an actual product.
There goes our
We're not-
monetization.
Yeah, monetization.
No.
Right out the fucking window.
No. Well, it's better than Dick's hot sauce.
Hey, Dick's Hot Sauce is a legitimate business.
They've been a loyal sponsor for us for many years now.
Anyway,
Isn't this supposed to have more alcohol than the average beer?
It's supposed to be a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a thicker beer, slightly.
Yeah.
I liked it when I was down there.
Anyway.
you do know that each state has a certain amount of there's a certain amount of alcohol you can have in beer, and it differs from state to state. Changes.
Yeah, I know.
You know that?
Yes. Continue.
Okay.
Continue with your...
I'm sorry. Did I disturb you?
No. You were...
Was there something that
No. You were supposed to be talking about you. Okay? So...
says the guy who's been interrupting me with this fucking bottle of beer now since I started? I know, because I can't have beer right now because of the medicines I've been taking. The Texas version of Bob and Doug McKenzie. I will take that any day of the week.
Such
I am huge fans of those guys.
Yes.
But so I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm not 100% yet. Feeling a little bit better. felt good enough to at least be here today. I don't know how good I'm going to be. I might suck as usual. Who knows? But
You might.
I'm going to pass it over to Nick now. And let him suck for a little.
Yeah, tell us how your week sucked.
I didn't realize how embarrassing I looked on some of those videos. So anyway, I'm Nicky, or Nick, John's other brother. But I was actually on my way home to Maine after spending the holidays with the family, and I'd just gotten off the plane at my layover in Charlotte when I got the news that my brother had passed that morning. So I just kind of stood there motionless. It was like an eternity of confusion and disbelief and anger in an airport terminal. It's like no matter how much I felt prepared or ready for that, no matter how much I convinced myself that he's, at rest and finally at peace, no longer in pain, it just didn't really bring any semblance of closure. You see, it wasn't just about losing a brother. It wasn't just about losing that friend you've known for just about your whole entire life. You see, John actually understood me probably more than anyone had ever had. I believe many of you in the room today can understand what it's like just to have this mind full of chaotic creativity flowing through your head all the time. My parents had it. My brother Steve has it. I had it, and John obviously definitely had it. And he passed that down to Jack and London, his kids as well. And when you have this mind just full of nothing but these wacky ideas for music, art, building things, writing stories, when your mind's just this constant kind of blitzkrieg of creativity that you just want to set free, the most valuable and irreplaceable person to you is someone that not only listens to your ridiculous ideas, not only understands your ridiculous ideas, but expands upon your ridiculous ideas and builds on top of your ridiculous ideas. And that feeling of epic level creative ridiculousness eventually manifests itself. And it's this wonderful mental release at that point, all during a 30-minute car ride to go play Dungeons and Dragons somewhere. And I know that I'm not the only person in this room to have experienced that joy and excitement of these types of conversations with my brother, because that's just who he was. And I'm grateful that he was able to share his undying love of creativity with all of you, because, like I said, that is who he was. And that is how I will always remember him. John was the most creative person I've ever known in my life. I'll tell you about this one time. John and I are in the car, and I think we were actually driving over to our friends to Lawler's house to play D&D. But I remember there was a bulletin on the radio, and it had mentioned that the Mars rover had sent back pictures of a rock on Mars. And John looked at me and he turned back towards the road and said, "How can one discovery be so incredible yet so bland and anticlimactic all at once? It's a rock." Needless to say, by the end of that car ride, we had created a character called Rover, the Mars rover, who was just pissed that NASA sent him all the way to Mars to find rocks. That was my brother John. This is one of the many things that I will always remember about my brother John. And if that's all there was, it would be enough. But it's not. It's not even close. As John's brother, I reserve the right to say this, but John was almost annoyingly social. I used to envy him so much at his ability just to engage with so many people about so many things and just constantly gravitate people towards him. I'm sure many of you here have experienced this on many occasions. And if that's all there was, it would most definitely be enough, but that's still not it. John was an incredible father to my wonderful niece, London, and my nephew, Jack, to whom both he and Shelley passed down that same unyielding need to always create. And that's still not all. Rivaled by maybe only our mother and father, John was the most kind-hearted and forgiving man I've ever known. John never let his heart turn to anger or resentment, never once. That was my brother, that was John, and that was my friend, and that was my creative partner. There will indefinitely be a missing part of my life until one day we can be together again and create something absolutely ridiculous once again. Until then, I love you, bro. Be at peace.
Proud Papa.
I'm gonna grow up and see this and say, why did you put tubes in my mouth and an ivy in my head?
Hi, beautiful. It's my big girl. London. London. Hey, sweetie. You're awfully precious. We love you.
We do.
Very, very much.
God, I'm overly hyperactive right now.
What was the best thing?
Best thing? Being with my family. That's the best thing.
Excuse me for one moment, I gotta time myself because I'm good at rambling. So, I'm not sure I really need to introduce myself with any of you, especially considering the pictures up there and how much my dad loves to talk about us. But I'm Jack, this is London. We're son, daughter, respectively. I only have like a loose collection of ideas here. I'm not good at writing scripts, but I'm gonna try my best to keep this connected. So, talking about me specifically, early in my life with my father, I remember that being a confusing time because we both had our anger issues. It was something that we both did not like that we had. We were very stubborn to fix it, and I would go to therapy and all sorts to get it fixed, but really I feel like working together, we managed to get through that. We managed to, fix the problem that we both had together. And I will, never stop thanking him for that, because I hated being angry, and he did too. And my mother mentioned this earlier, anybody that was close with him, a friend, was more like family, more than anything. He just had this unconditioned love for people, even if he disagreed with them. He just cared, and I love that about him, and I try to carry that with myself. Something that my father was really good at that I'm not as equally good at is he has this capacity to listen, and even if he doesn't get it, like I could talk his ear off about programming or some stupid song that I'm into, or I don't know, something game related, because that's usually what he heard. He listened, and he would tell me like, dude, I don't get it, but that's cool. That's awesome. And I love that you're into that. And I would always show him whatever project I was working on at the time. And again, he wouldn't get it, but he would love to see it. And I always appreciated that so much. One of my favorite memories of him is just something that it's so stupid, but I think it describes our relationship pretty well. I had just gotten back from school. I was sitting down at the couch at the front. And he comes in after something, don't know what. But he comes in and he's like, "What's up, home slice?" I was like, nothing much, deep sausage. And we both just lost it. We were like, where did that come from? What part of your brain made that? But we both were just dying laughing together. And he didn't care. I could say whatever I want with him, and he was fine with it. And I love that. In this more recent time, when we learned that he had developed cancer, it didn't stop him from wanting to help us. No matter what it was, I had to get a vaccine shot, but I didn't have a car at the time. Didn't matter. He came to pick me up anyway. He would always do anything for us. It did not matter. To this day, I still owe the piece of crap $100 because I need help financially, but it didn't matter. He would still help me no matter what, and I'm very thankful for that. Getting on to a little thing that I'd like to do here, because as all of you know, or at least I hope you know, he's about laughter. He loves making people laugh. So, I'd like to end this off. My father was a great father, a philosopher, a writer, a comedian, and a man of many hats and various other things. So I'd like to call up, wherever you guys are, Nick and Steve, because we have a little thing for you we'd like to do. Test 1, test 2.
This mic stand is bringing back band gig memories.
You're putting us on the spot here. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Somebody has to start the slideshow. All right, so looking up here, we got a wide variety of hats that we saw going through all these pictures, and we're going to rate them all for you. It's not just hats either. We got a couple very, very fun ones. So looking at this, this is a red fluffy hat. I don't know, I'm willing to give that.
It's his Pimp Daddy hat.
His Pimp Daddy. You know what, honestly, just for that, I'm willing to give that, if I could pull it out, I'm gonna give that a 7. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
I'm giving that a 6 because
Gotcha.
I guess I'm gonna have to stand here. But I guess I'm gonna give that a 6.
Nick, what you got?
That's it? I'm giving it a 9.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God! Well, I can't wait to see how you rate the other
How
things we
courageous
got.
that is? That's a 9.
We got some worse ones. We got a. Oh, we got this picture cut off. But we got a nice.
See, now this hat is courageous.
Looks like Raiden.
Well, I'm still gonna give that. Wait, what did I do? 7 last time? Another 7.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give that one an 8 because that to me is courageous.
I'll give that one a 6.
Because there's nothing Asian about John. Okay? Just saying.
I'll give it a 6 because I didn't like Mortal Kombat.
This one's getting good.
Like Mortal Kombat. Okay.
This
okay.
one.
That's going to be hard to top. So
My dad was definitely very flowery. I give that a 9.
It's not just the hat, it's his body language in this picture.
was he hiding something?
Oh.
That is a closet behind him. Okay, that one beats the last one, so I got. What are you going to give it?
You go first.
I got 9. I already put it up.
You got 9?
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 9. Yeah.
I'll give it an 8.
All right, what we got next? Yeah, this is pretty, typical. I've seen
That's
this a lot.
typical. Yeah.
It's not that I hate it or anything, but I'm only gonna give it like a 5.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure I need to hold this up for you guys anymore.
Yeah. I'm gonna give him a 5 on that one.
That one's too easy, I'll give it a 4.
All right, next one. Oh yeah. Okay, this is getting spicy.
Again, body language.
I'm still looking for the closet.
Hidden somewhere in this picture. Everyone has it. Another 9.
Yeah, I'm giving that one a 9.
I'll give it a 9 for courage.
All right, next one. God, he has a way of wearing these. My dad was very colorful. I don't know, I can't stop with the 9 flow. We got another 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that one a 9. Yep.
I'll give it a 6, but with the glasses, it's a 9.
Next one.
It's kind of lackluster,
It's typical. It's kind of like a 2.
Just because I know I'm not going
that's-
to give another one of these. It's a 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, next one.
That'll be a 2 also.
Seriously, he doesn't care what he wears, and I love it. And then there's one in the background, the bottom right. She looks kind of surprised.
Was he drunk?
Because everyone likes a pirate, we'll just say 8 on that one.
Yeah, we'll give it an 8.
No.
No?
He gets a 3. He gets a 3.
Who are you?
That's not brave. Gee,
get
we
next
wear
picture.
that
This is
eating
getting
dinner. It's no big deal.
Next one. It's just a nice hat.
It's
Very
a nice
close to his
hat.
face, Dad. Who's taking that picture? You can bring it back a little bit.
Yeah, back it up.
He
man.
just needs a piece of straw dangling out of his mouth and he's fine.
Yeah, but he's
What was
missing
that?
it, so it's a 5 for me.
Really? Oh, come on.
I'll give it a 5. 5's good.
It was like an admission picture to Dr. Pimple Popper. So he gets a 1. I don't think he was. That's nothing. No.
All right, next picture. I love his outfit.
He's
here.
got eyeliner on. Come on, guys.
I love his outfit. I'm sorry to say, because I'm saving this for a very special occasion. I'm still gonna give it a 9.
No. No.
Wait,
He gets a 6.
Oh no.
He gets a. I would have given him a 7, but the eyeliner, no. It's just,
I'll give him an 8 for looking that much like Boy George.
Oh yeah.
That's the Mickey Mouse hat.
Are we out there at that time? But he's tipping the hat. He's got that class. You could practically feel the milady from this one.
He didn't buy it. He was just trying it on. So he gets a 4 from me. He was just trying it on. He didn't.
I'll go with Jack. He gets like a 7 for making a Mickey Mouse hat
If
classic.
he had walked out of the place owning it, he would have got
He
a 7.
is shirtless right now, but he is wearing it. All right.
That was him pretending he was still in the Army. He thanked me for that, by the way, because when I kicked him for the very first time, I shattered his wrist so bad that the Army couldn't keep him. So.
And you're proud of this?
He thanked me later.
He just looks like he's ready to go head first into something.
Due to recent information, I give this a 10.
Yeah, I'm giving it an 8.
I'll give it a 9.
Because it's that bad look. I don't know about that one.
It's just a New Year hat, but it's body language yet again.
It's New Year's. You can get away with anything on New Year's. That's not brave. That's a 2.
It's a 5.
I'm not even going to do this anymore.
You know this is a celebration, not a roast, right?
Everything with John was a roast. Everything we did with him was a roast.
Chicken roast, pot
Everything.
roast.
Every week we'd meet up and it was just roasting each other. Constantly. That's all we did.
It's true. Problem is, he can't roast us back.
No. He'll get his
You know his eyes are just on you
Next
right now.
I can feel the heat. He's like, Steve, you got it coming, buddy.
Next slide. There's some sass in this one, but the glasses there.
That looks like the absinthe.
It's like Harry Potter meets Matrix.
Kevin, was that the absinthe?
Is that Lakewood?
Liquid.
Oh, liquid.
I'll give that
I
a
think
6.
Shelley said Lakewood. I heard her. I can't take credit for that. I heard you and then said it. Yeah.
All right, next slide.
He was drunk. He's not brave.
Probably. Oh, he's so pretty.
Oh, see now yeah, that's a 9. That's a 9 for me.
That's a 9. I agree.
It's a 9 for fabulous.
Next slide.
What is he trying out for the village people or something?
You said it first.
I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm mixed on this one entirely.
Give that
The jacket's cool. I'll give him a 7.
Not angry enough.
Give it a 5 for awkward.
Next slide. Oh my god.
Okay.
All right, Steve, this one's all you for obvious reasons.
That's a 10. This is the expression. That's a 10. That's a 10.
I think Steve covered the rating for all of us. Next slide. Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
See the last one, he gets a 10.
Well, I hope that managed to gain or garner some laughs from all of you at the very least. Thank you for joining me on that, because he would have wanted everyone here to laugh at the very least a little bit.
Hi, good evening. For those that don't know me, I'm John's cousin, Mary Gray. John's dad was my mother's baby brother. About 10 years ago, John and I reconnected on Facebook, and this past November I was able to come visit. I spent a long weekend visiting John, Aunt Marie, Uncle Johnny, Stephen and his family, and I was blessed to spend almost 3 days hanging around and talking with John about family, life, philosophies, most of all, his children, Jack and London. And I just want you to know that his love for both of you was just unmeasurable. I could hear it in his voice. My own brother Bob passed away about 3 years ago, and at that time I searched for a way to express to family and friends what we felt and let everyone know that we are all going to be okay. So I created an analogy of the Apollo 13 mission, and I've edited it with you to give you the same message that I had given to my family on my brother's passing. Do you remember Apollo 13, the mission? If you don't remember the Apollo program, it's way before a lot of you. You've probably seen the movie, and it's a really good watch. I've watched the movie, I've read the book, I've researched the information on NASA's website, and I've paid some attention to the story, and it kind of goes like this. Apollo 13's mission was to explore a portion of the moon. Before the spacecraft reached the moon, there was an explosion on board that partially crippled it, an oxygen tank or a container. The damaged spaceship didn't have enough oxygen or power to complete its mission, So the mission to land on the moon was aborted, and the astronauts worked feverishly with Earth-based mission control to come up with another plan. The damage was done. There wasn't enough power to simply turn around. There wasn't enough oxygen to take them safely home. They needed a way to turn around and get back home quickly, using very little power in the process. It was decided that the ship would use the gravitational power of the moon to propel it back to Earth. If the ship could precisely enter the moon's orbit, zip around the backside, and then exit the moon's orbit exactly at the right time, it could reset its trajectory and critically conserve enough energy to be able to return safely to Earth, all while keeping the structural integrity of the spacecraft intact, and thereby protecting those astronauts. Usually in Apollo missions, there's 100% constant contact between spacecraft and mission control. In order for this plan to work, there would necessarily be silence as the ship shot around the back of the moon. The astronauts would disappear, and if everything worked out, they would reappear. The speed of the ship heading into the partial lunar orbit was critical. Too fast or too slow, and the power would be exhausted. The ship's direction was equally critical. Just a fraction off the angle, and the exit trajectory would be wrong. The ship could crash if it came too close. Conversely, it would not catch the moon's gravitational pull if it was too far away, and without that, the ship would float into space. The crew and mission control faced catastrophe, and with that backdrop, they succeeded. To me, John's family are those astronauts. They're all in the ship, a little damaged, trying to figure out what to do next in the face of extreme uncertainty. John plays two roles. First, he's the moon. As the moon, he's providing them with the power to propel them back toward Earth. They need his power. They don't have enough of their own. His gravity acts both as tether and propulsion. They are sucked into his orbit for a brief while, gaining speed and reversing direction, only to expend their precious limited power to exit on their own path forward, his massive presence accelerating them homeward as required by God's law of physics. They cannot be with him. They cannot land and join him. They must accept that this mission must be aborted, and the plans they made to explore, discover, challenge, and learn together cannot be carried out. This profound sense of loss is as devastating as the urgent feeling that focus on the future is necessary. The two feelings, loss and hope, hit us all simultaneously. Some of us are ground control. Some friends, other family members, as ground control, we're taking the communication from family in the ship and the measurements from the instruments, grinding out the calculations, and guiding us back to safety. You can't be on the spacecraft with the family. You can't possibly know how it feels to be alone in the vastness of space. But without these connections, we would all be lost. We as astronauts in ground control feel the comfort of these connections, full faith that our paths, while some are isolated in space's vast coldness, is being tracked every second. That we are 200,000 miles from home, but making progress each second. We work as a team, not frozen by catastrophe, but emboldened by it, inspired by it, sharpened by it. We make mistakes. We improvise solutions to unanticipated problems. We never lose hope. I said John has two roles in my imperfect analogy. The second role, he's JFK, the president, John Kennedy. As JFK, he got the entire Apollo project going. He set the whole thing up for success. He recruited only the best and the brightest for ground control. He trained us all, his astronauts, their trainees and ground controls, to pay attention, to say nice things to each other, to listen, to engage, to think for ourselves, to communicate, to live in triumph in the face of catastrophe, to wonder what we're doing here, to ask big questions of ourselves, to endure the struggle for the answers, to set high standards for ourselves, to appreciate, to savor the moments of peace and progress, to grip each other strongly, to accept each other, and to love. So that's how we're all doing. John has put so many things in motion for Jack and for London, for Aunt Maria and Uncle Johnny, for Nick and for Stephen and his family, for Shelley, for Aunt Vicky, and for all of you to be okay. As our oxygen tanks exploded, he course corrected and put us on that perfect trajectory with just the right amount of speed to use his gravitational pull and get turned around and headed back home. We sometimes feel isolated, yes, but we are well trained and feel immense control in our connections with each others. Friends, family, a group hand-selected by John himself to be in our lives. And with all our connections, we will ultimately make our way safely back to earth. Godspeed, John.
Smile!
Hello!
I am Lindsay Lohan.
Merry Christmas!
Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down. Wiggle in a walk and a giggle in a talk. Makes the world go round, round, round. There ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl to make me act so funny. Make me spend my money, make me feel real good. Like a long-necked dude, like a... Oh, baby, that's what I like.
Rock and roll.
That was lovely. Oh yeah. I'm gonna put a rating on this one.
Cut down trees, I wear high heels, suspenders and a bra. I wish I'd been a girlie, just like my dear papa.
Yes, this is my husband.
Alright, this is our first time partying with Mr. G. Lee Gordon right here, and this is the fucking party right now. This is a goddamn party. Please. Oh, there you go. Merry Christmas!
Me, and I'm really sorry to make you see this.
So, here we go. This is for charity. Don't drop that bucket on my head. Go for it. Wow! That is flipping cool! Wow! Done!
There are reasons that I have to go. All in time, it's just in case you know. And if you feel it's just too late, I'll say all my days. I know it's not so far, and I could take us back to start. It's not enough. And you think I'm hearing just your words. Don't you know that you're the one that makes me yearn? 'Cause everything you do is just so good. All my days, I know it's not so far, and I could take us back to start. I'll say all my days. I know it's not so far, and I could wish us back to start. Oh, you will never leave my heart. It's not enough.
Holy crap, y'all. Well, first, obviously, I'd like to thank Raheem Quasi, and I'm sorry I don't know your name. Dina. Dina, something I can't pronounce right now, but I'm sure it's beautiful. Thank you so much for doing that. Yeah. That song was called The Reasons. And I actually met Raheem a long time ago at a like an art show sort of thing. And we ended up trading some art for a CD. I just really enjoyed his music and took it home, and John instantly fell in love as well. And we just, that song is so special, and it's even more special now. Like, I remember when Raheem said he on Facebook said that song would forever be John's, and it had been a while since I'd listened to it. So I listened to it for just a second. I couldn't get through the first line. I was like, nope, I can't do that right now. It's beautiful, just beautiful. Thank you. So now we're going to move on to John's work life. So he held many jobs, wore many hats. But the thing that he did best was just tell a story. Whether he always loved writing, whether he was writing a poem, he's written novels, he's written Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. He always just had a way with words and a way with the story and the characters and the way they moved. So he really found his niche when he started screenwriting. Knowing how the story would be told, or should be told, he eventually took to directing as well to really give it that push. He had a gentle hand, and with positive encouragement, he was always able to bring his characters to life within his actors. I consider myself to be very fortunate to have often been the first person to set eyes on his scripts. The biggest tragedy is that I'm the only person to have set eyes on some of them. I'm hoping maybe we can do something about that. We'll see. In addition to working behind the camera, John enjoyed stepping in front of the lens to embody demons, mobsters, and the occasional old hippie stoner. As you've already seen, he also joined forces with his brothers and some other friends to host various radio shows and podcasts. And it might surprise you to know that when I first met John, he was in his early 30s, and he was shy and he was insecure. And I'm so happy that I was able to watch him grow into the funny, witty delight of a man that you all came to know. We are truly lucky to have gotten to share in his gifts for the short time that he was with us. We're going to hear from some folks. We're going to first hear from some folks that he's worked with, and we're going to even screen a short film that he wrote. One item to note while you're watching Sapphire, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to give it away. Just keep in mind that he wrote this before he got sick. You'll see what I mean. It's interesting. So first, let's take a look at some of our favorite moments of John in front of and behind the camera. I know there's a lot of slideshows. The first song that you're going to hear is one that he wrote for a feature called Pros and Cons. It was the second feature he and I ever worked on. It was performed by his good friend Trisha Grinolds, and it delivers a beautiful message of hope in hard times. The second song was written by Raheem, who performed just a moment ago. It was for the pilot that many of you know about, called Emma, that John wrote. Sadly, the final edit was never really done for that show, but I have all that footage, so maybe we can work something out there too. We'll see. I remember the first time John put that song to the trailer, and we both got goosebumps and watery eyes. I hope that you guys will enjoy it as much as we did.
Alan said something about you need a shovel.
I don't think I need a shovel thing or whatever. Hey, my shithole. It's all packed up. Can you help me with that?
That's disgusting. You're a sick old bastard. You know that, Joe?
No, not my asshole, my shithole. You know, my toilet. The thing I'm in. You know, I could use that to clean it out, maybe.
I'll see you later, Joe.
Yeah. See you, man. Well, suppose I could dig my own hole if I had a shovel.
I'm not hiding, so don't hide from me. I can't be made blind to what I see. You can't bring me clouds and take the light away. I'm not running to find my escape. I stand right here, so it's me that you face. And I'm not dreaming, so don't tell me to wake. You can't take from me what I haven't given away. Can't cover my eyes with clouds and bring me pain. There are still blue skies somewhere above the rain. Must I struggle so hard to make you see I'm not the fool I used to be? Would you stay here and be at my side? Time for winds of change to blow the clouds away. Sun still shines up there, you can't take that away. And I'm not dreaming, so don't tell me to wake. You can't take from me what I haven't given away. Can't cover my
never wanna feel alone. It's so good to know you are there. Can't believe what you see in me. Am I really worth saving or save me? All I really know is that I need you more and more. Oh, how you shine like a
So for me, as the writer, for me as the director, I wanna see these characters, and we're going to create these characters. Okay, here we go. Action.
How you guys doing? I am Jeff Hamm. I had the privilege of meeting John in a very different way than most of you guys. John's greatest story, I don't believe, was ever written for a film or in a screenplay or even told on a podcast. I met John at a church in Bedford, and a church called DFW New Beginnings. And this was before I'd even had an opportunity to even work in film. I was running around taking all the photos and all the videos at this church. And in the back of the room, there was a man with a gray heathered sweatshirt on that had Patriots, and he just seemed a little out of place. So I snuck back there and started talking with him, and he found out I was a Cowboys fan and never let me live that down. But we started connecting because I had a camera and I found out he was a filmmaker. And between him and Ann Byer, when I was taking her headshots, they said, what do you want to do? Do you want to do this for the rest of your life? Do you want to work in a church? Or what exactly do you want to do? And I said, I would love to direct a film. And John immediately said, let's make a movie. And I was like, okay, how do I do that? He said, oh, don't worry about it. I got the people. I'm going to bring you in. You're going to co-direct with me. And we're gonna work together on this movie, which, thank God he said co-direct, because I had no clue what I was doing. And he was so good. He was so creative. We entered the 48-hour film festival, and it was the first film that I'd ever worked on. He spent all night writing this script, and I showed up on set the very next morning. I was well rested, of course, but he spent all night writing this thing, and I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Helping people here, helping people there, helping the camera department, helping the lighting department, just do all these things. And he pulled me aside and he said, Jeff, what are you doing? I said, I'm helping everybody. Like, we're trying to hurry up, right? We're trying to get this film made. It's 48 hours. He says, no. You have one job right now. It's to direct. If you spend too much time in this area or this area, you're not directing the entire film, you're just helping. You're no different than a PA, which everybody's important, but a director has a job and it has to be in every single one of the departments. And I took that advice from that day forward. I was like, wow, mind blown. He had this way of not just pulling people, he would pull people in and build people up. See, John was a people builder. If you knew him and you worked with him, you understood. He made people better. When you were done working with him, you were better for have worked with him. It was amazing to be able to work on projects with him and just to see the creativity was just, oh my goodness. The stories that he would come up with, and he was always so supportive. Even when I decided to do music, he would send me messages and be like, hey, let me find a way to put your music in my films, or can you come and work on this project with me? And every time I would post about working on a project, he would be the first person in my inbox and say, what can I do? How can I be on your set? That's who John was. He was a people builder. See, I believe that no one ever truly dies if the mark they made on the world and the people around them, that mark carries a spirit that kind of lasts forever. You see, John's greatest story wasn't in a movie, it wasn't told on a podcast, and it wasn't in a book or a well-worn script. His greatest story ever written is in the lives that he shaped through me and you and the people that he's loved. May we continue that legacy and continue his story as we continue to talk about him and the great things that he's done. He's an amazing man. I'm honored to have known him. Thank you, guys.
Wow, everything looks so different from up here. Good evening. I'd like to start by saying what an honor it is to stand here in celebration of John's life tonight. My name is Sean Cunningham. I run a media production company, and I'm a cinematographer and editor, and work with John on several projects over many years. But I didn't grow up with John like some of you have, and it's actually been, ironically, a great experience for me to hear some of those connections that John has with friends and family that go way beyond the short time that I knew him, which was around about 10 years. And that felt like a lifetime to me, because it was so rich and deep. So to hear these stories and see pictures of him being a kid and hear his brothers talking, I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting the brothers. That was very touching, and I'm sorry for your loss, because it must be much greater than mine. We were shooting a pilot together, which, this is about 10 years ago, 9 or 10 years ago, which John had written, and I told him how much I loved the depth and honesty in which he'd penned his characters. And we discovered that day that we were both fascinated by story, by its many facets and complexities, its principles and rules, and how we could find creative ways to break them. And he'd make jokes about British writing. Yeah, my accent is not from Colorado. I'm originally from the motherland. And we'd joke, and he'd make jokes about British writing. I mean, you've heard a common thread through everyone who spoke tonight. John just liked to laugh, even when he was taking his work seriously, especially with some of the projects that we did that were micro and, dare I say it, zero budget. He'd say, you know, we've got a serious job to do. There's a lot of people putting in a lot of talent and effort, but we've got to have fun while doing it, otherwise what's the point? And he'd make jokes about British writing and then tell me he was only pulling my leg. And I told him that the phrase pulling my leg was a British expression, and asked him what language he wrote his scripts in. English, he said, as the penny dropped about 2 seconds later. Yeah. John, if you're listening, I have no idea if the phrase originated from England. I was just pulling y'all's leg.
Yeah, we learned something about each other that day. Frankly, that we were both a pair of nerds. Story nerds who could talk for hours about storytelling, knowing that most people would have run a mile to find someone way more interesting than us to talk to if they had the chance. We talked about storytelling the day we met. We off on a set while other people were doing other things, and we talked for hours. And we talked about storytelling the last day we met. Nick, where are you, Nick? Somewhere down here? Somewhere at the front here? It's nice to meet you. Wish it was under different circumstances. But I heard you say, John understood you. And that really resonated with me because feeling like a story nerd, somebody who's, it's okay when you're 13 and you tell somebody you've got a vivid imagination and you love telling stories. When you're 30 like me, who laughed? Who laughed first? I'll get you. Some people don't get it, and John really got it, and I'll really miss him for that. That really resonated with me, what you said, Nick. He understood me, and I felt the same way, in a different way, of course. You also said that he had an unyielding need to create, and that resonated with me too. I do too. I wish it would yield sometimes. And I know that there's a lot of people in this room who are in the same situation. I've worked with some of you. And John was exactly like that. He just had to be creating something all the time. And he never let a lack of resources cut him off. He would do whatever he could. John, Rosa Nichols over here, and myself produced a short film. Shelley mentioned it earlier, Sapphire, and we're going to screen it tonight, I believe. John wrote it, and it generated a lot of attention on the Independent Film Festival, the festival circuit, and we'd met for lunch the last time we met to discuss a more ambitious project that we intended to collaborate on again. We were, I guess, in the buzz of coming off a festival from just a really little, short, poignant film that he'd written, Rosa had directed, and I shot and edited. But there was a big buzz about it because he kept winning at all these festivals, and it was a lot of fun, and John got a buzz out of that. And I think there was an element of validation, but just appreciation for everybody who was involved, and he wanted to do more. Anyone connected with the industry will know it's not easy to get investors to part with their money for emerging writers and production companies, but as I said, John would never let that get to him. He was a man who was always willing to do whatever he could with whatever he had available to him, and do it in the most creative way possible, and close the gap between your $1 million TV show and the $10 show that we were able to make. But close the gap so that it didn't look like there was that much of a difference. So Sapphire was based on a feature screenplay that John had written, but had been unable to raise capital to shoot. Rosa had just come off a project and was looking for something else to direct. And John told her he had Sapphire ready to go, that it was based on a longer story, but he had a desire, a real compulsion to want to tell his story and do what he could and do it right there and then. And John asked if I'd be prepared to shoot the film for him. And after I read the script, I told him that I would. I said, yes, I'll shoot it for you, and 2, let's find a way of getting the feature done at some point in the future. And unfortunately, that never happened. But I believe if John was standing over my shoulder right now, he'd be whispering, don't sweat it, dude. It wasn't meant to be. Just keep telling stories, you British nerd. I'm going to miss John more than most of you will know. But what I am truly grateful for is that we got to be a part of each other's lives, and that together with Rosa we got to collaborate on Sapphire, which ironically deals with the fragility and fleeting nature of our lives and relationships. Shelley, I don't know if you do know, but it was 2 years ago to the day today that Sapphire won its first awards, got in its first festival. Did you know this, Rosa? It came up on my memories today on Facebook. I don't even use Facebook. I have an account. I rarely use it. I went on to recheck the time of the event tonight, and it came up on my memories. I got a picture of it right here. And so today, 2 years ago, it won Best Actress for Holly Moore, Best Editing. It was nominated for Best Director, for Best Music, for Best Short Producers, which was myself, Rosa, and of course John, and nominated for Best Twist. So I think it's really fitting today that we get to show that film in his name. Yeah, it's worth applauding. Thank you. I think that's it. I think we're ready. Are we ready to screen it, Shelley? Is it ready to go? Okay, to John. Thank you, John, and thank you, everybody. Thank you.
See that right there?
Where?
Right there, it's a Big Dipper, see it?
Uh-huh. What's a dipper?
It's like a big cup with a long handle.
That star over there looks blue.
It does look blue.
Sparkly, too.
Like a sapphire.
What's a sapphire?
It's like a blue diamond.
It's my star.
Your star, huh?
Yep. It's the prettiest star in the sky.
Well, it's just perfect for my baby girl.
Blue sapphire is a stone of mental and physic activation. It's also a stone of awareness and discipline.
Oh, so if you have one of those, I guess you're aware of everything, right? Like where it came from, like Saturn? Are you aware of that? Come on.
Blue sapphire is associated with the planet Saturn?
Saturn, yeah. This one, yeah. The one with the rings. I think it's
Allison,
fourth?
can you come help
Fourth?
Mommy,
No,
please?
fifth. I don't know. It's next to Jupiter.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Dad, I made you dinner. You need to eat. Can I get you something else?
I'm home.
Dad, you are at home. You had a stroke. I need to take care of you now.
See Marley.
Mom, I'm gonna wait a little longer. Besides, I have a... Dad? Dad, I'm headed to work. I'll be back later tonight.
Looks like a blue diamond.
It's my star.
Yours, huh?
Yep, it's the prettiest star in the sky.
Then it's just perfect for my baby girl.
This is Mark. Hey, it's me. Has Allison left yet?
She isn't there?
I was a little late getting home.
Mark, you're not taking this easy for her.
Look,
I know. Trust me. I'm paying for it every mistake I make.
I just love you guys so much. I just hate to see you both hurting.
Just let me know that she got there.
She just got here. Okay, I gotta go.
I don't know how much more I can take of this.
I know, sweetie. I know.
And Mark, he just doesn't understand how difficult this is.
I know my brother. Okay, he's trying.
No, he fights me on everything. I need his help taking care of Dad, and he just ignores me instead of supporting me. I don't understand.
Allie, I think that you need to talk. Okay? I'll cover your shift. You need to go home.
No, I got this. I need my time, okay?
Okay. Hey, you need to come get her.
What are you doing here?
Babe, I was concerned about you.
I asked you to do one thing, is to come home on time and relieve me so I can get to work.
I know, baby.
Be with Dad. What are you doing here? He can't
Baby,
be by
I love
himself.
I love you,
What?
okay? Look,
This is you. Why are you
Baby,
ignoring
Dad
my
is okay.
simple requests? I don't understand.
Dad-
I don't understand what you're doing.
Dad had a stroke.
I know he did. That's why you need to be home with him right now. What are you doing?
He's not-
Please.
baby, he's not
Stop
here.
it.
I'm with you, okay?
God.
Follow her!
She hates me.
She's lost. Mark, go find her. Mark, go!
Yeah. What is he gonna think?
I don't know. I think he's gonna cry.
You know, your dad looks tired today.
There's nothing else we can do. I should have come here to tell you that, your dad had
Dad? Dad?
the damages were just too significant. There's nothing else we can do. As comfortable as possible. I'm terribly sorry.
So if you have one of those, I guess you're aware of it.
I'll be right back.
I'm terribly sorry.
have to let you go.
Yeah.
I'm not ready.
You never are. I wasn't ready to let your mother go. We just accept it. Eventually, go on.
Didn't you promise me at some point you'd never leave?
Maybe. I didn't want to.
I wanted to tell you you're gonna be a grandpa.
I had that part figured out.
How?
Yeah, we were in the store. I went to look for you, and I found you in the baby section.
God, I miss you, Daddy.
It's not that long, really. In the grand scheme of things. I think I'll go find your mama so we can watch our daughter and our grandbaby together. She's gonna be as beautiful as you are.
She.
I love you, baby girl.
I love you too, Daddy.
Hey, you see that star?
Uh-huh.
That's Mommy's star. It's blue.
Like Mommy's ring.
Right.
It's pretty.
You want to pick one?
That one.
Oh, come and hold me. Oh, you do.
Even Daddy. God. No doubt.
From the day
I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out and being a part of the celebration of my brother's life. And I only ask that you keep him in your memories as long as you can, because he's there. He's going to be in my memories for the rest of my life. And I thank you again.
You see what I mean about how crazy it was that he wrote that before he got sick. I mean, he had a lot of health problems, and I think that might have been his way of helping his children. I think that was his message, you know? That was his message to all of us. Like, we have to let him go, but we'll always keep him. Anyway, thank you so much for being here to join in the celebration of his life. I'm going to do a little non-emotional stuff for just a second and just say we welcome you all to join us in the lobby for refreshments provided by my good friend James Montgomery of Jimmy's Table. Non-alcoholic beverages are on the tab if you just let the bartender or the concessions person know that but you're with the service, and so all non-alcoholic drinks just go on our tab. If you would like something stronger, we invite you to purchase that at the bar. Please mingle. Share some stories, say hi to old friends, and maybe make some new ones. I know that it would have made John really happy to know that he was able to help build some new connections. Finally, I'd like to say for one last time in John's honor, that's a wrap.